Are you looking for a quick shift into positive energy? Do you want to go from that negative, low feeling to feeling good, feeling light? If so, this is going to be the episode for you because we're going to talk about what it takes to become the positive version of you and truly enjoy what it is that you desire to receive. My name is Henry, and welcome to the Positive Mindset Podcast, where we come together to raise our vibration, lift our perspective, and build a positive mindset. I'm so thankful to have each and every one of you here today because this is going to be a powerful perspective that will put you in the direction to become who it is that you desire. But before we get started, we're going to take a few moments to slow down, zero in. We're going to take some deep, healing, meditative breaths to help us align on the frequency that we want in our lives. So you can pick a word. It can be love, joy, happiness, abundance, whatever frequency you want. And you're going to take a deep breath in, and as you're breathing in, you're going to say that word over and over and over again. Really charge yourself up with that energy. And then as you're holding your breath, visualize yourself doing something in that frequency. And once you exhale, anything that no longer resonates with you will leave you, and you'll be in a more positive state. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath in. And out. We're going to take another deep breath. This one is about alignment, about getting ourselves in receiving mode so that we can receive the message that we need to hear to get us in that positive perspective. So just imagine that you are surrounded by the most healing, uplifting energy that's meant specifically for you. It could have a certain color, a certain taste, a certain smell, however you imagine it. And when you breathe it in, it's going to charge you up. It's going to break down the negativity, the blocks, the weight, everything that's just been holding you back. And once you exhale, anything that no longer resonates with you will leave you, and you'll be in a more positive state. So let's go ahead and take another deep breath in. And out. So how do you go from a low place, a negative place, to a positive one? When you're hurting, when life is difficult, when you can't see your way through it, no matter what is going on externally, that internal feeling is one of the most hardest things that we can deal with. So how do you become positive? That's what we want. We want to find the good in our lives and pull it within us. We want to find the joy, even if you see it. A lot of times we see the good in our lives and we just can't feel it. It's like the heaviness of the weight of the negativity overrides it. Well, there is a way to become a positive energy. You see, I believe what you think, you receive. What you see in the world, you receive. How you speak, you receive. You see, it's not the items that matter, whether it's the words, the subjects, the people. It's not the physical part that we should be paying attention to. It's the energy that it represents. And truly ask yourself, how much focus and attention are you paying to the energy that you desire? Meaning, how much do you pay attention to the words you speak? How much do you pay attention to the words people around you speak? What energy are they in? What things are you around, and how would that affect you? What music do you listen to? What podcasts do you listen to? What shows do you watch? Who is in your circle? Ask yourself, am I paying enough attention to that? Because if you want to shift into a new feeling, you have to shift into a new energy. Now, I want you to think about this. Whatever professional sport you like, or it's the best athletes doing something, maybe it's the Olympics, maybe it's baseball, football, whatever it is, soccer, whatever sport, the best people at it, the professionals, when you watch them, they make it look easy. But yet at the level they're doing it, it's the hardest that it can be done. But yet they make it look easy. Why is that? It's because all their life they've been practicing to be amazing at that thing. So how much energy and focus and time have you committed to changing and becoming who it is that you want to become? And I'm not talking about going to school, getting the degree, getting the job, working hard in the job. I'm talking about your commitment to the energy that you're around. How much focus, how much practice have you put into shifting and finding the frequencies that you desire? And once you recognize that that's all you have to do, that's all you have to do. You have to figure out, how do I level up? You start paying attention to your thoughts. You start paying attention to the energies of those around you. You start paying attention to how you conduct yourself with your thoughts. How many days do you wake up with positive intentions where you say, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to eat healthy, I'm going to say my positive affirmations, I'm going to do this, this, and this, and then you don't do it. When you don't do it, that is almost worse than not having the intention to do it at all. Because when you don't do it, which the action is love, like the discipline to being who you say you're going to be is love to your higher self. Because you're saying, I respect this higher version of me. I love this higher version of me, the one that's healed, the one that has love, the one that's forgiving, the one that's abundant. I appreciate it and love it so much that I am disciplined to make sure that my thoughts and my actions are in alignment with it so that I receive and become it. If you don't do that, if you just have the thoughts and your actions are in alignment, consistency, then you are telling yourself and the universe that you like it as a dream, but you don't really want it because you're not willing to physically make the commitment. You're not willing to mentally make the commitment consistently. If somebody comes up to you and 9 times out of 10, they're going to point something out bad. Maybe think of this boss that you have that every time they come around, they tell you what you've messed up on. They tell you where the company's hurting. It's just negative. They're always pinpointing the thing that you did wrong, or the thing the company did wrong, or the thing that your team is messing up on. 9 times out of the 10, they come up and they say that. What do you expect them to say when you see them? You're not expecting them to say the positive thing. You're hoping that they do, right? You're hoping that they come in and say something positive. This is how we treat ourselves. When we disrespect ourselves by not being in positive alignment with our vision and our thoughts, we are that same boss to our higher self. So our higher self thinks we're going to do the opposite of what we truly want. So let's give it that. But you see, what if you had a boss that every time they showed up, you knew that they were going to say something connecting to you? Even if work is bad, even if you made mistakes, even if your team is struggling, whatever it is, that boss, they always ask, hey, how are you doing? And not just how are you doing at your job, but how are you doing? They ask you about your family. They ask you about your weekend. They're curious about how you are doing. They ask you how things are going at work. They ask where can they support. They outline, hey, this is where we're doing really good. These are our opportunities. I'm here. How can I help you with these to make sure you're successful? Right? When that boss comes around, what do you think? You're going to always assume and believe that they are going to say something uplifting, that they are going to do something helpful, that they are going to be there to support you. If 9 times out of 10 they did that, that's who they are. If 9 times out of 10 they say the negative thing, they bring you down, they make it difficult, then that's who they are. And I'm not saying they're good or bad, that's just the energy that they possess. You are the same. You are the boss of who you could become. So if you have this vision for who you want to be, or you just know you want to be something different, you hope that you feel good, you want to be positive, you don't want to be negative, like you have this loose vision of who you want to become, but then you don't act as if, you don't act in alignment, you don't do the work, you don't do the exercise, whatever it is that you committed to being. Like if you have this vision of yourself being healthy, happy, wealthy, but yet every single day you only do the things that you have to do, meaning you get up as late as possible so that you can go to work, to the job that you have to go to pay the bills. You eat the food that's the most convenient because it's just available to you. You talk to the people that are around you. When they gossip and do all the negative, you just get involved in it because that's the people that are around. The negative thoughts, when they pop in your head, when they tell you you should be doing more, you listen to it instead of pushing it out, then you are that negative boss to yourself. That's where your focus should be. Practice becoming the version of yourself that you want to be. Think about it. If 9 times out of 10 you act and think in alignment with your higher self, who are you going to become? If 1 out of 10 you act and think in alignment with your higher self, who are you going to become? You're not going to feel the changes right away. It's going to take time. Just as if you had a group of friends, one of them shows up, And they slowly start just saying what's wrong. They start noticing like, oh, you're not doing so well. And they just constantly are pointing out the negatives. When they did it the first time, you probably brushed it off. When they started doing it for like a couple weeks, you might notice it, but it's not going to affect you. But after months and years of that person constantly picking and showing the negative things, every time you see them, you're going to think those things. Now imagine if that was you in your own head saying the negative things. Maybe it's just one part of the day. Maybe it's in the morning, you're real negative, or maybe it's after work, whatever it is. You just talk down about yourself. You say what you're doing wrong. You really beat yourself up. How are you going to feel? You're not going to feel good, especially when you look in the mirror, because it's you that's saying those things. So if you want to be something different, you have to become something different. Your thoughts, your mindset, and your action are the keys to changing your frequency. But think about it like trying to become a pro athlete. If you're not what you want to be, you are starting at a certain level. You're not wrong for your level. In fact, wherever you are is exactly where you need to be, because the type of love, the type of forgiveness, the type of energy that you are going to create from your background is unique and needed in the world. If everything's expanding, then we need positive love energy to expand as well. And your unique perspective, your unique background, your story will create a specific version that adds to the growth of all love frequency. So thank you for being where you're at. And then thank you for noticing that there's opportunity for you, for noticing that there's something that you can do. So no, you are trying to become the professional positive thinker, the professional actor, meaning you act in alignment with the actions that you know will make you become who it is that you want to be. The process is simple. Start with a positive vision. Pick 2 years, 3 years. Pick the time and place of who you want to be. How do you look? How do you feel? How do you handle stressful situations as this version of yourself? What does your house look like? What does your car look like? What does your bank account look like? Who do your friends look like? What does your job look like? Really build this version of you that's so inspiring. When you think about it, your hair stands up. That is your higher self. The more you spend time in that vision, creating it, walking through it, breathing in the air there, eating the food there, interacting with the people that are there, the more time you do that, the more your higher self guides it into becoming the true vision of who you can become. As you do that, and you start wondering, okay, how does this version of me think? What are the I am statements that this person believes about themselves? Then you bring those into the now, and you start processing and seeing things through the same lens as your higher self. Then you know how you must conduct yourself during the day. You know that this person exercises. You know that this person meditates. You know that this person is calm in stressful situations. You know what you need to do. Then each day, the discipline or tolerance level you have with acting in alignment is your key to success. It is love. You are loving your higher self by sticking and creating yourself into that version of you today. It's that simple. If you want to shift, become the professional. Understand where you're at. Understand your thoughts and your actions matter. Set the target of where you want to go and become the rising tide that lifts all ships. Well, thank you so much for listening. I hope this episode was impactful and gave you a positive perspective on your current situation. If you want to make sure you don't miss a single episode, make sure you subscribe to my email list. There's a link down below. It will keep you up to date with every single episode. And if you want to follow me on social media, there's my Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook group all down below. I appreciate all the follows there. And if you're listening to this episode and you're thinking, I'm ready to make a shift, I want to do this in a powerful way, this is what I do. I'm a mindset coach. I help people create the vision of who they want to become. Whether it's an idea that you've had or you want to create a new one, that's what we do. Then we take that mindset, we build it into you now so that you can build the day that you need to create who it is that you want to become. If you're interested in this type of coaching, reach out to me on Instagram, or there's a link down below. If you fill that questionnaire out, I will respond to you directly and we can talk about what it would be like for you to go through a program to become who it is that you desire to be. Well, thank you so much for listening. Have a great day, and I can't wait to talk to you next time.